My name's Dave Liggins and my company is Firelink Sourcing, and I started the business 2 years ago. So my business is all about sourcing and procurement needs, and obviously over the pandemic there's been specific requirements of Far Eastern sourcing, Europe, and that's where we come into our own really. I first heard about Andy through a now colleague. So I'm looking to merge with another gentleman called Mick Ramsden, who also has another business. Basically, we came to Andy to help us understand how we merge the two businesses together and what pains, what issues could arise with doing putting a proposal of that magnitude with all the moving parts, and how to start from A to B and get to C. Basically, we were a little bit unconventional to the standard type of customer pupil, shall we say, on the course, and because we both had established businesses, the exercise for us was, one, really find ourselves and where our businesses were, and two, to then merge the two as seamlessly as we could. So yeah, it was a little bit different, but equally the journey was the same as anybody else really. My experience with Andy has been a revelation, to be honest with you. I've had, through my journey of having a business, a whole array of different coaches, different marketing companies, everyone trying to put their expertise forward through no real success. But with Andy, my first meeting with him, it was very evident that he cared and he wanted to help, which was really refreshing. It wasn't about added extras or you can pay this and get that or anything like that. It was first about who you are, what you're doing, and where you want to get to, which really stood out for me. And that was notable within the first 5 minutes and really made my mind up really. Andy has given us the path and given us the confidence to trust the path that we're on, and the platform which he has is incredible, to be honest with you. It's easy to follow. I'm not the most academic of people. I'm a grafter, I'm a worker, so I just want to get hands-on and get from A to B as quickly as possible. When it comes to education, yes, I've got a degree and alike, but really that doesn't put into practice the real world and real business. So the course that Andy has is just easy to follow. With Andy's guidance, the Sherpa, as he calls himself, which is very fitting, you can follow that journey and you can actually see it. You can understand where you're going. My experience of having a business over the last 2 years, I was a procurement director beforehand. I had a department. I had the comfort blanket of various different managers, departments of directors. When you're on your own and trying to understand not just the day job, but how to run a business, it can be pretty overwhelming. And I can understand how a lot of businesses don't manage to get to the end goal of a successful business through no fault of their own. Businesses are very difficult to manage and to understand. And Andy just gives you that confidence. He gives you that expert guidance, and in some respects, probably he gives away too much, but that's the kind of guy that he is. We've had follow-up meetings where we're close to creating the business. It's going to be called Essential Sourcing. We've got the message. We've got an idea of the marketing. Again, Andy has given his full guidance on the last meeting that we had of where we're a little bit weak and where we need to get to, which again is just reassuring to have that guidance, that Sherpa, as he calls himself again. It just works. It just really does. The approach that Andy provides is one from the heart, one that he actually cares about what's going to happen to you, where you're going to go from a business perspective, but also from a personal perspective. He really gets to know people, what the pains are, and yeah, it's not about money. It's not about the next add-on or the next module that he can offer you. There's absolutely none of that, which is so refreshing. And I'd urge anybody in a similar position, young startups or anyone from a board level perspective. In my previous job, in my previous role as procurement director, I 100% would have brought him on board to help us understand where the weak areas were. Though we were a fully established business, very successful, and it was sold on, he can always add value. Because of our situation of merging the two businesses together, what's been quite refreshing again is that within our own businesses, we've understood where the weak areas are so that we can now start working on them in the background. And once we eradicate those issues, understand the path, the journey, then 100% it's inevitable the business will flourish and we'll get to our goals, which in our business model, not only is it the sourcing side, we are looking to create a training course for procurement, because my experiences so far is that the procurement department isn't seen as a skilled department. It's more an admin role and with guidance of various different senior managers. Yeah, and again, obviously being on the platform which Andy's got, it's given us a little bit of a leg up on that front because he's helping us from his own experiences. And another really good thing is through our course, we've met some incredible people. And within that, we're actually working with a couple to help us build our own platform. So he's created this community, which is already working together within a few weeks of knowing each other. We're all helping each other. And that's what that belief in that's from the heart from Andy. And that's, again, what's refreshing. So my business journey now will always include Andy moving forward. I just see so much value in him as a person, and also as an added bonus, his business and what it can do to help me. Again, I think there's nothing more than what he loves is seeing people flourish. And when businesses are struggling, that's when he really comes into his own. So from my perspective and my new business partner's perspective, Mick Ramsden, where we need to get to, it's essential that we've got Andy on board with us. So Andy has a great network of people, and the people within that network are incredible purely because Andy's very selective with who he works with, in terms of they've got to buy into him and buy into his community. And one of the things on the course is all about your dream buyer, about who your dream customer is going to be. If they're not a dream customer and all they're going to do is cause you grief, then you don't need that in your life. You don't need that to help build a business, because all you're doing is being a little bit desperate, and you don't need to. And again, so Andy's network, albeit he's not an open driving force with, oh, I'll put you onto this one, I'll put you onto that, and I can do this and I can do that. It's almost organic. It's almost a natural instinct. And the connections that I've had are incredible because they just work. Again, and it goes back to the fact that he listens to who you are, what you do, what you're after, and then puts you in touch with like-minded people that actually can help. And because of Andy's full network, we've all bought into him and what it's about. It's all about helping each other. And then, yes, there's networking. Of course, there's networking, but fundamentally, you're not trying to sell into the room. You're trying to help, and everybody can see that everyone's got a common goal there. And like I said, it's organic, it's natural, and it's not forced. And the people within that group are incredible. They really are. Again, like I said, over the last couple of months, which I've been with Andy and the course and everything else, I've met some incredible people. And I just wish I'd have met Andy right at the beginning of my business journey, if I'm honest. We've met incredible people on our course. We're all got the same common goal. Some are brand new to understanding how to create and start a business journey. And again, some of those skill set within that course that we did, obviously it's a shared course, we had all the synergies that we needed to work together. I also have been to a few YAB meetings, and again, incredible, the energy in the room, and it's something that we're looking to get on board. As soon as we've got the business up and running, we've gone through all the finer details and we understand how it's all going to work, it is something that I feel is great value, and will look to join at some point. Once the merger is done, both businesses have done relatively well, and once we've got that path and we've got that full journey that's all mapped out, we'll be looking to kick on and increase margins, increase revenues. We've gone from a couple of people in a team to 4 people in a team. We've gone through all the roles and responsibilities, so everyone knows what they're doing. And for me, we'll be looking to break records within the first year of trading. And I truly believe that. I think we've got an incredible internal team, and really the course has helped me understand that more. You've got to have that full guidance. You've got to have that full journey mapped out from A to B and to C. In terms of profit and margins and everything else, we've got to be realistic but once we've built that platform, we can then kick on, and again, through guidance with Andy, once we're an established business that joined, we can then fundamentally find all our dream customers, prospect them, and get our name out there, really. Andy's success is because he cares. The community that follows him is secondary to that, I think. That's an added bonus. But Andy has been through life experiences that you can relate to, you can resonate to. So from my perspective, I was a procurement director, and so he was a director, and managing staff and the pains that come with that and the cultures that come with that, you're not true to yourself in some respect. Finding who you are, which Andy helps you do, and then understand the journey that you're on. Trust trust your path. Once again, once you buy into that, there's no, it's not waffle, it's not big corporate words or anything like that, which I love. And then it's real, it's passionate, it's real. And once you're on board with that, everybody behind him is on the same wavelength. Through my network, I would recommend a whole array of different businesses. I have peers that are on the startup journey and lost in some respects, like I was to a certain degree. And then I also have people that I know that are very established businesses, are actually on that tipping point of growing, and 100% Andy can help. It makes no difference whether you're a startup, an established business over a couple of years, or you've been going 30, 40 years. The concept, the platform, it works and it's easy to use and it makes a difference. And I know that's its strapline. There's some real truth in that. It does make a difference. And he also instills in the fact that you as an individual can make a difference. And I think that's what everybody buys into. And when you're delivering that across a training course within a multi-million pound business, you've got people that are sat there feeling like they probably don't get the recognition they need. And again, that's everything that Andy brings out of people. They have a purpose, there's a need, and they do a good job. They just need a bit of guidance. The qualities I feel would work, first and foremost, that you actually care and are passionate about helping others. If you're going in with a selfish, money-driven kind of attitude, then that's never going to work, because right from the off, you're going to deliver the wrong message. The kind of person is, and I feel that I would probably fit into this category really, is a lot of my issues over the last couple of years is that I've done absolutely everything and anything I can to help people. I get that enjoyment. I get that fulfills me. However, there's a lot of people out there that take advantage of that. I paid the price, and that's not what this franchise is about. The franchise is about helping people create a business and change their lives, because I think there's a few things that the pandemic has taught us. One, flexible working is absolutely a thing. It can be done. And basically, if you're not doing your job, you'll always get caught out. But whether you're doing that at home, in an office, in a satellite office, or wherever, as long as you're doing a good job, it shouldn't get in the way of life. And that work-life balance is integral. And again, that's very much driven within the course. And that's one of the reasons why, I took the step to start my own business. I remember the first day that I actually picked the kids up from leaving my old business, and both teachers of my two kids asked who I was there to pick up. And it was an absolute game changer for me, and made me realize that the decision I'd made, albeit there was financial worries behind that, was absolutely the right one. If you're passionate about understanding people's pains and wanting to make their life better, then this is the franchise for you. I would 100% recommend Andy to anybody that I know. Yeah, I've seen firsthand what he can do. I've seen and spoken to people that he's already worked with, and those people are still with Andy, and that paints a picture. So I'd be daft not to have Andy in my plan for future growth, and to, let's put it this way, if I had a competitor, I wouldn't tell them about Andy. It's not a load of bullshit. He's not slipped me 50 quid or anything. I bought into Andy as soon as I met him. The platform he's got is incredible. It's really integral for me to have Andy on board with that. What I think is that every council, every business centre related to local areas should absolutely have an Andy. I had to find my own feet. I had no one to talk to. I hadn't a clue what I was doing. I know what I'm doing when I'm sourcing products and when I'm teaching people how to source products. But in terms of the big wide world of owning a business, accountants, marketing, staff, everything about business is Andy's been there, done that, had the t-shirt, took the pain home with him, and you resonate with him. He understands your pain. Now, if you had someone like that in every local area that was a business advisor, and someone like me, if I had that mentor, I would be in a completely different place now, a completely different place. And I tell you what, the local economies would be so much better, because so everyone has big ideas, and you've got a lot of bedroom entrepreneurs at the moment, and if someone's successful, someone picked the right product, I'd say there's an awful lot of luck within that. However, for someone who's doing it for the reasons that I did, which was to basically build a better life in terms of the work-life balance, then if I could call on someone like Andy and have access to him, yeah, it would make such a big difference.